you receive it? How were you receptive to the entire game itself, bro? From that 20-point lead to losing 26-20, bro, my guy.
Well, so here's the funny thing, right? So during the game, when the Dolphins were up 20-10, me and my sister, we decided to kind of step out because we were at our mom's and all the OGs were there. So, we ain't trying to do our thing in front of them. So we stepped out, went and got a bottle. And I remember we were up 20-10, and when we were coming back, the Packers had just tied it up 2020. So I got to watch the game from that point on. And I probably stepped out a little before Tua had hit his head. So I had no idea that had happened, right? So I go in, I'm watching the game, Herbie, and how do I put this, Herbie? I'm gonna tell you what I told our mutual friend Gerson. When I was watching the game, I wasn't upset until the last pick, Herbie. When Tua threw that last interception on the second play of the drive to win the game, that broke me, dog. That fucking broke me, dog. I was so fucking mad, dog. And even the things prior, Raheem Mostert fumbling the ball for what? We get an interception just for Tua to throw an interception back. Tua throws another. Tua finished the game with 3 fourth quarter interceptions, bro, back to back to back. Herbie, Tua, I have no problem saying this. I have no hesitation saying this. He's the best quarterback we've had since Marino. But Herbie, I'm thinking about all the bad quarterbacks we had. I can't remember any of them having a meltdown like that. Now, obviously, we're going to get to Tua a little later, and we're going to talk about, maybe what he might have been going through. But ultimately, Herbie, and I do want to say this, I don't want to forget this because this has been on my mind because I've seen a lot of fans have been giving the defense a lot of crap. And look, our defense isn't good. We are what? A bottom 6 defense in terms of points allowed. We allow a ton of yards, true. But one thing I will say about our defense, Herbie, if you look at the last 4 games, they've kept us in every game. The 49ers scored 33 points, but one of those touchdowns came off of Tua fumbling basically at the goal line. I don't even remember if they scored defensively or offensively, but I don't put that on them. So they scored 26 points. The Chargers scored 23 points. The Bills scored 32 points, Herbie, true. But we had an 8-point lead with several chances to put the game away on offense. So at the end of the day, when you look at how our defense, even in this game, Herbie, our special teams, because offensive special teams, they both wear this L, dog. Our special teams on Green Bay's first possession of the game allow 90-yard return. Jason Sanders misses a field goal in between Raheem Mostert's fumble and Tua's first pick, giving them great field position. Because Tua was throwing picks left and right, they had great field position most of the game. If this was prime Aaron Rodgers, they would have dropped at least 45. But we were playing, we're playing old man Rodgers Packers team. So we had every chance to win that. It was one of those games where it seemed like nobody wanted to win, dog. It seemed like nobody wanted to win that game, dog.
That's how it was when I was. Oh, sorry to cut you off, but that's
No,
me as somebody. Me as somebody who obviously has no dog in the fight. That's how I was taking it in, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it's literally a throw it back and forth. Nobody wants to win this game, and somebody has to win the game kind of game, bro. That's how I took it. Bro. I was like, neither team deserves to be in the playoffs right now, bro. After what I just saw, dog. But speaking of the Dolphins defense, bro. So I want to go ahead and I have a couple of the stats up right now, bro, and we could go ahead and talk about it right now, right? So in regards to the defense, right? You guys, I think I want to see y'all 27th right now or something.
27th in points allowed. Yep.
27th in points allowed, bro. You're giving up over 5,300 yards. You're giving up 5.4 yards per play, which isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just the points allowed, dog. Like, it's really the points allowed. So where are you guys in first down? You guys giving up 311 first downs, bro. God damn, dog.
Oh, I mean, look, the thing about our defense, Herbie, is that they've always been kind of like one of those bend but don't break kind of defenses. So they always allow.
But you guys are bending though, bro. You've given up the second most touchdowns in the NFL, bro. You guys are tied with 3 other teams with 26 touchdowns, bro, or 25. I'm sorry. So the third most touchdowns in the NFL, dog. And
I mean, Herbie, I'm not saying we have like a low key good defense. They're a bad defense, but my point about them is that I see a lot of people keep wanting to point fingers at the defense. But Herbie, let's think about this: the Dolphins are now 8-7. You want to know what we were last year at this time? 8-7. Mike McDaniel was given a better offensive line. He was given Tyreek Hill. He was given TA and Connor Williams on offensive line, who have both been positive. He got Jeff Wilson. He got Raheem Mostert. Like, at the end of the day, Herbie, this is the difference between the Dolphins this year and previous years. The Dolphins this year, my nigga, we just look prettier doing the same shit. We just had a better fit on, dog.
No, y'all literally just flipped it. Y'all were dominant on defense, mediocre on offense last year. Now you guys are
Right.
dominant on offense and mediocre on defense, bro. But I mean, trust me, and I hear what you're saying, bro. But me just looking at it, right? So let me just go off of where you guys are, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and points allowed by a team, right? You guys are sixth. Yards by a team, you're 12th. Let me see here. First downs allowed, you guys are 10th. Completions allowed, you guys are 4th. But you guys are a heavy man team, so that it is what it is, right? That comes with the territory, bro. Passing yards allowed, you guys are 5th in the league. Touchdowns allowed, you guys are 3rd in the league. Let me see here. This is the one that is killing y'all though. Like first downs by a penalty, you guys are 2nd. You're giving up 34 penalties that resulted in the first down, dog. That doesn't help your offense, and that definitely doesn't help your defense, bro. So that's just some of the stats that you guys are having right now, dog.
No, you're speaking facts, and penalties haven't just been a problem for the defense, Herbie. I mean, the team as a whole had 8 penalties for 62 yards against the Packers, dog. Like we have just been in this 4-game stretch completely, utterly undisciplined. And even though I said that about the defense, obviously the defense hasn't been particularly good. But I give the defense the benefit of the doubt because we're missing almost half our starters plus key depth. That's true. At the end of the day, Josh Boyer can only do with what he has to work with. Like people would be like, "Oh, I hate when he makes certain play calls." What play call are you gonna have for this defense, Herbie? That's foolproof.
When is the last time that Byron Jones has even played this year? When was the last time he played?
He hasn't played. Herbie hasn't played a single snap.
That's insane, bro.
He's been on the PUP list this whole season, my nigga. And they kept teasing it every week. Oh yeah, Byron Jones is getting ready to come back. Man, please get the fuck out of it. That nigga ain't coming back.
Ain't no point at this point, bro. Like, what are you coming back to, bro? Like,
you're coming back to the same situation you left last November. So what's the fucking point, dog? You know what I mean? And you know what? I gotta say this for the offense, and I know we're gonna transition to Tua, Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess this ties into him too. I gotta say this about Mike McDaniel, Herbie, and he's been a guy that I've shown a lot of love to, much like Tua. Mm-hmm. But on this episode, I got to be real about both of them, Herbie. These next 2 games coming up against New England and the Jets are about Mike McDaniel, Herbie, because at the end of the day, you were the guy that everybody was crowning an offensive genius. When we were playing against the Packers, Herbie, we were running the ball for almost 9 yards a pop, maybe 9 yards a pop completely. Why the fuck would you deviate from that? Like I don't know if Mike McDaniel was just tired of his days of being a running game coordinator in San Fran, and he's just been cooking up this passing offense he's been waiting to unveil his whole career. I get it, bro. But at the end of the day, Herbie, like, he has yet to try to submit to the flow of the game. Like, he keeps trying to do things his way. He keeps trying to play like a Madden-style offense. Like, he's not trying to run plays underneath. This nigga wants to attack downfield. And teams are now starting to use his aggressiveness against us. And, at the end of the day, Herbie, at some point, you got to show, bro, the Dolphins are running the ball for 9 yards a pop. It's 3rd and 3 and you're passing? Like, he didn't learn anything from the previous games. And it makes you wonder about him going forward and his ego. And the fact that you're called an offensive guru and Mike Gesicki has not done shit this year, Herbie. And people say, oh, he doesn't block. Herbie, when does it ever matter that a tight end blocks, Herbie? If the nigga can catch and make plays, that's what you use him for. So what if he can't block?
Bro, show me one time where you seen Travis Kelce blocking, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't block. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Never been in his highlights ever, dog. It's never ever been in his highlights, bro. So I'm with you with that 100% because it's like it's one of those situations right now. Now, granted, in Mike McDaniel's, in fairness to Mike McDaniel's, when it comes to Mike Gesicki, he didn't come for Mike Gesicki. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course. But at the end of the day, you understand that Mike Gesicki is a weapon. So It's on your job as a coordinator, it's on your job as an offensive guru to use him. That is the difference between making your system work or making your system work for the players that you have. And for the honeymoon stage or the honeymoon period that we've had with Mike McDaniel, we have lauded him for making his system work for the players he had. In reality, he was just making his system work. It just happened that the players that he had worked really well with his system.
Right.
The fact that he has not been able to utilize Mike Gesicki is proof of that. He's not making the system work and highlighting all the strengths of everybody that he has. It just works for the personnel that was there. He saw an opportunity as a head coach, and credit to him, he had to go get that job, right? It wasn't
Right.
given to him. But he looked at that offensive roster. He saw Tyreek Hill go to the to the Dolphins. He saw that you already had Jalen Waddle. He was like, "Ooh, wait a minute, I like that." You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
actually, Herbie, I think he's the one who engineered the move for Tyreek because he was hired before we traded for him. I
oh
think.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But again, that's somebody that you knew could help the system
Oh,
that you already had, right?
Right. Same point.
Versus
Yeah.
because you saw that he had what's the running back that y'all had that he was like, "Nah, I'm done with you, bro."
Chase Edmonds, man, get the
Chase
fuck
Edmonds.
out of here. Get the stepping, nigga. Get out. Dropping touchdowns, can't see the hole. Get the fuck out of here. I love that, Herbie.
But again, yeah, you can't waste Mike Gesicki. Like you can't, especially when he's
No.
somebody who you need him. You need him. Like he's a
Right.
counter. He can help counter what everybody is doing now. Like there's no way that Brandon Staley figured this shit out. There's no way that D'Amico Ryans just figured out. Like it can't be as simple as we're just gonna put our linebackers 3 yards deeper, bro. It can't.
Right. It's ridiculous.
It can't be that, bro. Like there's no way. There's no way, right? So it's gonna be on him, dog. It's a learn. Like I said on the last pod, bro. This is a learning experience, and you can only use it as an excuse for so long. Because at some point, are you being a hindrance? Because
Right.
the NFL stands for not for long, bro.
Facts.
They're not waiting for you to make a counter, bro. Like they're not gonna say, "Ooh, Mike, we figured something out, but we'll give you time to figure it out to counter us." Nah, that's not how it works, dog.
And think about the last 4 games, Herbie, too. The one game where our offense performed, the Bills are a heavy zone defense. They don't run a lot of bump and run. The teams that have focused on bumping and running against our receivers, throwing off the timing, and focused on covering the middle of the field have had a lot more success. The Bills just played defense how they wanted to, and we were able to score 29 points. Really could have scored more. But ultimately, Herbie, listen, the season's not over, right? Like
the season's not over, but you said you. So I know that the smoke that you have is not just for the defense, bro. So what? I know you got smoke for the offense. I know you got smoke for the special teams, bro. Who you want to attack first, bro? Because this is. I know you want to get out everybody.
I mean,
bro.
Herbie, I'll get special teams out the way because nobody listens to a football show to hear niggas talk about special teams.
Facts.
But I'll say this: the special teams has made one play all year. We had a punt block against the Bears. Where have these niggas been? We haven't been getting great field position. Jason Sanders has been inconsistent. Like our special teams, because we were winning, it was something that we kind of didn't really worry too much about. But that shit bit us in the ass against the Packers. 90+ yard return, missing a field goal, consistently just not being able to make plays in the return game. Like, I mean, the special teams has definitely been disappointed. But Herbie, the offense got to catch this, dog. And I do want to make note of one thing. After Tua threw the 3rd interception, I remember because I hadn't seen him hit his head or anything like that. So I just remember watching that shit and just thinking to myself, like, yo, what is going on with this nigga? And a mutual friend of ours, our homegirl, shout out to the fellow Dolphin fan, Carissa. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're going to be watching this right now, but shout out to you, love. And she hit me up and she was just like, yo, man, Tua just doesn't look right. So, me, dog, I wasn't having it, dog. I was, I don't know.
Wait. Hold on. So let me ask you this first. Do you want to have a conversation about the offense, or do you want to go ahead and move this conversation forward in regards to the Tua concussion? Now I know they're kind of intertwined, but I just want to make sure because they're two different conversations to have.
I think we can lean towards the Tua concussion.
Okay, all right, cool beans.
Yeah.
All right, so in this regards, bro, so let's move the conversation forward into the Tua concussion, right? Now, I was not really focused on the game 100%. So I didn't see him bust his head. I didn't see none of that. Right. All I saw was I didn't see none of the picks, bro. Like for whatever reason, I forgot the game was on and I just went on about my day. And then I literally was like, oh crap, the game is still on. I forgot about the game. I rushed upstairs, cut the TV back on, and I saw the aftermath after he threw the pick.
After the third one?
After the third one. But I didn't see him throw the pick. I just saw the Packers go on drive, ultimately win the game. Cool. So I went on Twitter, and then I was like, I saw that Tua was trending. I'm like, Tua must have had a terrible game if he's trending on Twitter.
Right.
Lord hold me no, bro. I saw pick after pick and some of the worst picks I've ever seen in my life.
Ever, bro. Watching that game, you would have thought. And Herbie, here's the crazy part. The way he played in the first half, he was phenomenal. The nigga had 200 yards on 6 completed passes at one point. And the 84-yard touchdown, yeah, Waddle ran most of the way, but he was under pressure on that play. Like he had a man in his face, still was able to make the throw. You know what I'm saying? He threw a 50, I think it was a 52-yard bomb right on the money to Tyreek on a deep post route, I think it was. So to start the game, Herbie, Tua was playing well and we were controlling the game really well. I mean, we were up 20-10. I think at halftime we were up 20-13. I think it was after the fumble from Mostert. They ended up the Packers were able to kind of bring the game back a little bit. But ultimately, Herbie, we were in control of the game. That's why when I left and I came back and I just saw the missed field goal, I saw the first interception, which there was like 5 defenders there. I was just like, what is that? Then you see the second one, which looked like a miscommunication, but Mostert wasn't like, even if it wasn't a miscommunication, even if Mostert was where he was supposed to be, he was going to be tackled immediately. He might not even have caught the ball. So it was a bad decision either way. And then the final pick, props to Rasul Douglas for feigning man when they were actually in zone coverage. But that, disguises haven't been something that fooled Tua like that all season long. Like he's been pretty good at reading through disguises. I've seen it on film. So to see him get caught up in that trap coverage so easily, just basically give the ball up to that nigga. It was Herbie. I remember watching that game, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts before I get to the concussion. Well, I can actually talk about the concussion a little bit. When it comes to Tua, Herbie, I feel bad because I want to say this. I feel bad because I don't think he'll get the opportunity to redeem himself this year, because I think it would be irresponsible for the Dolphins to let him play. Like, even if we somehow make the playoffs, win one of the last 2, the Jets lose, we get in. I just think even if we make the playoffs, I think we should ride with Teddy or Skyler or whoever the coach wants to ride with. Because at the end of the day, Herbie, a third concussion is not something to really fuck with, dog. And like, I'm gonna just give you some of Tua's stats, bro.
Before you get into it, so let me ask this question, bro. And this is topic number 2. And this is, listen, I'm not even trying to be like, super crazy or like, the sky is falling, bro. But is this the end of Tua, dog? Like, you can ask that question at this point, bro. Man had 3 concussions in 1 year, dog.
In 3 months, dog. 3 concussions in 3 months. Right?
3 concussions in 3 months, bro. So, is this the end of Tua? For sure for this season. I can't see him coming back, even if y'all make the playoffs. It would be, right, in my opinion, malpractice if y'all put it back on the field.
Nah, 100% agree. Like, look, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna boycott the team or anything if they play him, Herbie, but I'll be disgusted. Like, I'll be like, I don't even know if I'd even want to watch the game, because like, we don't know where his head is. He needs the whole offseason to kind of get his head back together. Like, if you look at the stats of how he played in the game, and look, people are on 2 different parts of this. There are some people who think the concussion didn't have as much to do. There are some people, Herbie, the man's stats in the second half were so bad compared to the first half. I have to believe the concussion has something to do with it, right? I mean, he was 9 of 12 for 229 yards, 19.1 yards per attempt in the first half of that game. Had a touchdown.
Speaking of that, I actually have it, right? So I was kind of on the fence, and I'm not gonna hold you. I was kind of on the fence because I'm like,
of course,
do I want to show the hit or do I not? But I'm like, it's already on the internet, bro. It's out there for public consumption, bro. So let me go ahead and get that right now, dog.
Right.
And this is it right here, bro. And to what you were saying, bro. And this is a tweet from Warren Schapp. If this play was at 240, was 2 concussions, here are his stats. Pre-concussion, 9 for 12, 220 yards, 19.1 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Post-concussion, 7 for 13, 81 yards, 6.2, 0 touchdowns, and 3 straight interceptions in the 4th quarter, bro. And here's the play right here, dog. And it's crazy because it's like, I didn't see this. I didn't hear anybody mention this.
Right, me neither.
Until like an hour after the game. And here go the play right here, bro. This is the play right here. You see him go down, get by legs, boom.
Hit his head right where he's hit his head the first 2 times. Same spot.
So
a similar spot.
At this point, I'm just like, I don't really know what to do with Tua, bro, because it's like, I've never seen anybody like this, bro. Like, bro, I ain't never seen anybody like this, bro. Matter of fact,
Herbie, you know what Tua is to me, and I'm gonna just get it out my system, dog. Tua to me is like, he's the worst kind of tease, bro, because I don't think, like, there's a lot of Dolphin fans that after this game, before we knew about the concussion, they were ready to be like, the same niggas that were chanting MVP for this nigga, all of a sudden saying, oh, he's trash, he's this and that. I don't believe that at all. I actually think, like, this nigga has played 12 games, so all 12 games tell a story. I think Tua is a really good football player, but there's two caveats to Tua, Herbie. There's 2 caveats to Tua. One is obviously the one we're discussing right now, is the fact that he's injury prone and now is becoming concussion prone. So on top of him just, hurting his ribs and hurting his hip, hurting his finger and shit, now we got to worry about him when he takes regular. Herbie, that tackle wasn't like a dirty play. It was a regular NFL tackle. It's almost like this nigga needs a class to learn how to fall down, dog. Somebody needs to teach this nigga how to fall. Like, bro, it's just crazy, Herb. But the second caveat, Herbie, and I have to be objective about this. Now, I'm not saying that I think we should get rid of Tua, because honestly, I don't think he's going anywhere next year, because A, we gave up a lot of draft capital, and B, we have really no cap space. So Tua is lucky enough, and he's probably played well enough to where the organization might give him another go. That's what I'm thinking. Things can change, but I think that's the plan. With that being said, Herbie, the second caveat to Tua, on top of him being injury prone, is that he has yet to prove he can come through in big games, dog. I have to be honest about this. When you talk about a guy being a franchise quarterback, the last 4 games were all big games, Herbie. 49ers game of the week in the afternoon on Sunday. Chargers on Sunday Night Football, a game that was flexed. The Bills game on Saturday Night Football. And now the standalone 1 o'clock game on Christmas. You have 4 big time, 4 spotlight games. The offense only showed up in one of those games. It's hard for me to kind of quantify the Christmas game, because if the concussion really affected Tua, and even when you watch the film, it seems like his depth perception was off on some of his throws. So yeah, listen, the concussion definitely played a factor. But even if you take the Packers game out, Herbie, he didn't play well against the 49ers. We chalked it up. He didn't play well against the Chargers. We chalked it up. Against the Bills, he played really well. You could almost argue the offense let him down, because we had 6 drops, 3 potential touchdowns. Between Tyreek Hill and Trent Sherfield and Braylon Sanders. All 3 of these niggas could have had touchdowns, dog. They weren't able to catch the ball. So at the end of the day, Tua actually played really well in that game. But here's the issue. The blemish for him in that game, Herbie, is Mike McDaniel wanted, instead of running the ball when he was running at 7.5 yards a pop, wanted to put the ball in your hands on 3rd and short. Herbie, how the hell we can convert 3rd and 9? How the hell we can convert 3rd and 5? But when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and run, we don't know what to do. We just throw fucking quick outs, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so in the one game where we actually played well and we had the lead, we didn't put the game away, Herbie. And people want to be mad at the defense. Well, if you put your defense in the position to where a guy like Josh Allen can drive down the field to not only tie the game but win the game, you're fucked. Like, at the end of the day, that game is not on the defense. People want to say, oh, they allowed 32 points. The offense was up by 5 points, had a chance to score, settled for a field goal. They were up 8 points, and they had another opportunity to put the game away, Herbie. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that this is Tua's whole character. He's still a young player in this league, Herbie. But the way I felt about Tua, especially a month ago, I feel more sour about it, Herbie, because this is just my strong belief, especially after having Tannehill for several years. At the end of the day, Herbie, if it's the end of your 3rd year and I still have question marks, how can I call you the guy? It doesn't take 4 years to find out who a quarterback is, dog. That's my opinion. I could be.
Nah, that's fair.
Everybody has their own parameters. Some people don't even want to wait, more than 2 years. But for me, I'll always, if you didn't look like trash your rookie and 2nd year, he didn't look like trash. He was okay. You know what I'm saying? Especially given the circumstances. But he showed he could play at a high level this year. But that's not going to be enough next year, Herbie. We know you can play at a high level. So now we have to see you do it more consistently. Now, when it comes to early season, if the Dolphins start out 5-0, 6-0, who's going to be shocked? We have the talent, we have the coaching, we have all that. So at the end of the day, when the big games come, real football starts late November, December, January, Herbie. That's real football. And we're 0-4 in real football, Herbie. And to be a franchise guy, you gotta take home one of these games, Herbie.
Okay, so for me, as somebody who's not a Dolphins fan, right? So this is my from out of the weeds perspective. I have no attachment to this. I have no biases in regards to this, right?
Right.
You have 2 problems. One, problem A is that there's a long-term health of Tua Tagovailoa.
Of course.
Whatever that is at that point.
Right.
Obviously, that's his well-being beyond football, right?
Right.
When he's 40, 50, 60, like this is going to affect him down the road. So obviously, right? We're not monsters, bro. We don't care enough about this sport that we don't even get paid for ourselves. We're just fans to the point where we just are just going to throw him out. No. It's none of that, right?
Right.
However, he is still somebody that you are trying to learn about, and this doesn't help.
Yeah.
This only further proves the point that he might not be the long-term guy. And I think when people call somebody a bust or where somebody doesn't stick with a team or doesn't work out with a team, it's not always equal, bro.
Right.
Zach Wilson is not Tua Tagovailoa. If they both end up on a different team that didn't draft them, bro, it's going to be for very, very, very different reasons. Tua
Absolutely.
might not be able to stay healthy, and the Dolphins can't trust him anymore.
Right.
Zach is the worst quarterback I've ever seen, bro. Different things,
He's
bro.
top five, yeah. All time.
You know what I'm saying? Completely different things, right?
Yep.
The other issue that this creates is that one, you are back exactly where you were last year, dog. Like, so you're and actually a third thing, you guys are again stuck in quarterback
It
purgatory.
never ends, Herbie. It never fucking ends,
You
dog.
switched Ryan Tannehill for Ryan Tannehill from Hawaii, bro. Like you got the
Yep.
same person, dog. Like
Basically, dog.
you're in the same situation. You have the same issues. You are in a wheel, bro. You are a hamster that's chasing its own fucking tail right now, dog. As a Dolphins organization, when it comes to the most important position in all of sports, dog.
Right.
How do you fight your way out of this paper bag, Rod?
I mean, Herbie, to be completely honest with you, at least in the foreseeable future, this is the silver lining that I'm gonna give to my fellow Dolphin fans, because I don't want to be on this podcast and be all doom and gloom, because it doesn't have to be like that. I still, Herbie, despite the epic, and I do mean the epic collapse that we have had, this is still my most enjoyable season as a Dolphin fan, bro. It's just having the worst ending to any other season I've ever had. So it's two things that are the same for me. But ultimately, Herbie, the silver lining for next year is you're more than likely gonna roll Tua out next year. I imagine they're gonna listen. Tua is who he is, Herbie. I realized that he may never be the super smart quarterback that I thought he was gonna be. When you're a guy with his skill set, Herbie, the most important thing isn't even being accurate or throwing with anticipation. It's being smart enough to know where to go with the ball on every play. That's what separated Drew Brees and Steve Young and fucking guys who just didn't have great arms but were really accurate. That's what separates them, Herbie. They almost always make the right decisions. Are they susceptible to a bad game? Yeah, everybody is. Dan Marino had a game where he threw 5 interceptions. All right. Like at the end of the day, the good players, they have bad games. But Herbie, consistency is important. And let's be real about Tua, dog. Outside of a 4-game stretch, a fourth quarter that was incredible, and the first half of the Packers game, how much has he really impressed people? Like, if you really take a step back, like during midseason when we were running through lesser competition, it was nice. Like the information that we had was he has improved, the Dolphins have improved. But now we have a bigger, broader outlook. And I think going into next year, I think Tua, this next year will be the first time Tua won't have to relearn an offense, have to learn a new offense. You know what I'm saying? This will be the first time he's going into an offense already comfortable with the system. I'm just expecting Mike McDaniel to make adjustments to expand and for Tua to have a deeper understanding of what he's looking at on the field and what he's playing against and how defense are going to attack him. So next season, they're going to try Tua out again, Herbie, because we went out and got Chubb. We went out and got Tyreek. Like the Dolphins made moves because they believed in him. So I don't think they're going to cut bait on him just because he probably won't be able to play the rest of this year. I think they'll give him one more year. Me, if I'm being honest, and I've been pro Tua since we've drafted him, I don't hate the guy or anything like that, but I'm out, Herbie, because I did this before.
Yeah.
I did this before, dog. I
Yeah,
did this
for
before
sure.
with Tannehill, dog. So for me, I gave him his 3 years. No excuses, Herbie. I seen what I seen, and it's not that I think he's bad, but
Nope.
he's just not good enough.
He's just not good enough, bro.
I mean? That's just the facts.
You're good
me.
enough, but you're not good enough, bro. And that's just and hey, bro, not everybody is Patrick Mahomes, dog. Like that's just the reality of the situation. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, those are one-on-ones for a reason, bro.
Facts.
The rest of the quarterbacks are mid or average or good for a reason, bro. Like that's what makes all of these guys special, dog. And again, and we'll leave before we go to break. The question comes down to what actually happens going forward, bro, because you're at a crossroads again, bro. And we'll come back to that. We'll talk about that when we come back from break and talk about the playoff picture, bro. But we'll be back shortly. We're gonna take a quick break and get right back to it, man.
Yes, sir. Damn, the homie.
That's why I'm mine. To spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on. Need no one else. You're all I need. Personality, everything you do makes me love everything about you. Your smile, your style is so fly. I can't deny. I got a crush on you, and that's true. And I'm digging you. You make me believe that your love is.
Junior watching, I be on my Junior watching, I be on my Tell him this, did he miss? Junior watching, I be on my I can't really see where did I miss. Junior watching, I be on my Junior watching, I be on my Tell him this, did he miss? Junior watching, I be on my ex-strippers, new killers, shot, tell them, this on Donda, on my mama, made a promise, Junior watching, I be on my Junior watching, I be on my tell him this, did he miss? Junior watching, I be on my I can't really see where did I miss. Junior watching, I be on my Junior watching, I watching, I be on my 4-5 summers. 4-5 summers. 4-5 summers. 4-5 summers. We took off, bro. We took off, bro. We took off, bro. We took off, bro. Born in Atlanta, now Montana, excuse my manners, I got status, excuse my manners, I got status, I got status, you want status, see more comments, and I see comments, they going down me, we going down to, let me be honest, let me be honest, I went with the Bucks, boy, let me be honest, I went with the Bucks, boy, spirit is on us, spirit of thunder, God's time can't fit on the wrist, Junior wanna have me on my move out of the way of my release, trying to get me off my cues and pitch, why can't losers never lose in peace, ain't nobody around me losing sleep, better find God before he find me, tell the devil good night, go to sleep. I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me, still with the dogs that I grew beside, all the niggas round me, high and they die, gotta watch the time cause it's flying right by, I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me, all the niggas round me, right and they die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I just caught a shorty off a Finsta. Just the on a hoodie, it's a crenshaw. Way that I've been living unconventional. I'm just trying to make it to the end, you know. Certain things have started getting pissed off. Think we need to have a son adventure. I could be a man, but maybe down the road. Right now, I would rather see my heart turn to chrome. Rather see my heart turn crystal. I can't even front like I don't miss you. Right now, I'm just stuck inside the crib on my own. Soon as I free up, I'm about to pop up on your phone. Like, I'm outside in an AMG. Right outside, PT. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me. All the niggas round me, right and die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me.
I'm outside in it.
Right outside, PT. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me.
And we are back, man. We back at it like a crack addict, man. Good break, good intermission, dog. So let's go ahead and move the conversation forward all together, man.
Yes,
Let's go
sir.
ahead and bring it back, bro. So, Rod, can we get an update on the Thursday night football game? Because formerly this used to be the Thursday night football live stream, and that transformed into what the show is currently, bro.
We never
So,
talk about the game,
we
though.
never talk about the game.
We never talk about the game. But right
We
now,
never talk about the game, bro. Go ahead.
right now, the Cowboys are up 10-3.
Fucking guy.
The fucking Titans just kicked the field goal after a Dak interception. Dak is currently 14 of 19 for 123 yards and a pick. And the other kid, let me look at his stats real quick.
With Josh Dobbs, bro. We
Yeah.
can't dominate Josh Dobbs. We cannot dominate. I'm so tired of this fucking team, dog. I'm so tired.
8 of 15, 113, bro. He's not even like, it's not like he's
Do you
playing
know
the
that
lights
Josh
out.
Dobbs before this game only has 46 passing yards for his entire career?
No.
In 5 starts, he has 46 passing yards in 5 starts, bro. And
Nah.
we get, bro, Rod, bro. Let's take it back to last week, bro. We have, and trust me, bro, the engagement that you guys have been loving the clips. Thank you for supporting everything. Like the clip where I talked about me wanting to go ahead and put the cup down, the whole cup down, bro. That had a crazy amount of engagement, dog. But all humor, all comedians say this, right? There's truth in the humor, dog. I want to kill myself as a Cowboys fan, bro. That is the truth, dog. Y'all just laughing at my pain, bro. Like this, like, bro. Bro. You were there. We had a Christmas dinner, bro. Tell the people, and I'm not lying, guys. I was rooting for the Eagles like I was born and bred in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, dog. Like I
Bro,
wanted
you were rooting harder for the Eagles than the Eagles fan that was there. like you were just like, come on, Eagles, let's go. And it was a riveting game, by the way, but it was just like it's like the Cowboys heard you and they said, no, Herbie, we're gonna drag you to hell. We're gonna drag you to fucking hell, man. Fuck coming down to earth. We dragging you to hell.
Bro, it is a never-ending nightmare, bro. You know that classic 80s movie, The Never-Ending Story, bro? But yeah, it's called The Never-Ending Story as a Cowboys fan, bro. But it's not whimsical, bro. It's a nightmare, dog. I'm haunted by this fandom, dog. Like,
It doesn't
why?
end.
I wanted to lose to Gardner Minshew so bad last week, bro. I had my papers, I had my pink slip, I had my resignation, bro. I was so ready to hand it in, and those bastards won, bro. But again, bro, that's neither here nor there, bro. We have a podcast to do. So let's talk about some of the headlines that's going on right now, bro. There's no bigger headline than our next topic, bro. Derek Carr got benched, bro. I didn't see this one coming, dog. I didn't see this one coming at all, bro. Where were you? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Herb, I don't think any of us saw it coming, but at the end of the day, it tells you where the Raiders are. I think they're done with this nigga. Like, I think they benched him because they're like, you know what? Let's make sure he's healthy so we can get rid of him. That was my takeaway after seeing that they benched him, because for what other reason? You don't have anybody in place behind him to take over for now.
Jarrett Stidham. That's who they're riding with. This is and if it was just the benching, I would have disagreed with you, because I'm like, hey, we've seen people get benched before. We don't see franchise quarterbacks get benched. That doesn't happen. That does not happen. If you believe in somebody, you don't bench them because you understand what the implications behind that.
Facts.
However, if he wasn't sent home, I would have been like, you know what, there's still a way for this to work. The fact that they sent him home, that let them know. Like, that let him know. That let everybody in that organization know. That let everybody from upstairs down that we are not going to be dealing with Derek Carr going forward. And it blows my mind because one of Colin Cowherd's like recurring topics that he does is the fact that Derek Carr has been able to exist in chaos for so long, and he's been an incredible soldier, bro. Whatever you want to think about Derek Carr, he didn't deserve getting benched and getting embarrassed like that for all the shit that he's put up with the Raiders, bro. It's the Raiders.
The fucking Raiders, bro.
Their owner has a bowl cut in 2022 going into 2023. That's the kind of clown show circus that this guy's been dealing with. Let's think about this, bro. He was teammates with Antonio Brown for 3 months, and then Antonio Brown ice burned his feet, bro, and set the entire set the whole shit ablaze, bro. He had to be coached under John Gruden in that circus. He had to deal with Mark Davis, who is absolute an idiot of an owner. His star wide receiver, the first wide receiver taken in the 2020 draft. Remind you, this is a draft that had Justin Jefferson. This is a draft that had who else was in that draft, dog? Who was in the 2020 draft, Rod?
Which one? The 2020 draft?
20 draft. It had all the receivers because that's the one that had CeeDee Lamb. That's the one that had Justin Jefferson.
It had just about everybody better than Henry Ruggs in that motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. Like that's
I think Jerry Jeudy was in that draft.
Jerry Jeudy was in that draft, bro.
Yeah.
From Henry, the very next pick after Henry Ruggs, bro, was Tristan Wirfs, bro. Then you had AJ Terrell. You had CeeDee Lamb. You had Austin Jackson. You had Justin Jefferson, all pro receiver, bro. Patrick Queen, like T. Higgins, bro. Look at some of the players that they had after him, bro. Jonathan Taylor, Antoine Winfield Jr., Trevon Diggs, Jalen Hurts, Jonah Jackson. Like, these are some of the players that was in his draft. That's not Derek Carr's fault that he had to deal with this nonsense, bro. He just was in the playoffs last year.
Didn't they have Mike Mayock as the GM for a while?
Bro, Mike Mayock was never the GM, bro. Like, Mike Mayock was my favorite draft analyst, bro. Like, Mike Mayock, granted, he didn't start it. Obviously, that was
Mel Kiper and
Mel Kiper Jr., bro. Like, Mel Kiper created the entire industry, right? But Mike Mayock routinely was the guy I went to and I trusted because more often than not, the people that he said were going to be good players ended up being good players. the people that he drafted lets me know that he had no control, bro. He was just a figurehead, dog. It was John Gruden, bro. John Gruden was like draft who was ever in the national championship game, bro. Because that's all they did, bro. They drafted Alabama players and Clemson players. That's literally all they did, bro. Like
Right.
that's all they did, bro. But that's just an aside. Look at the dysfunction that he's had to deal with, and he's been an incredible human being. He's persevered through all of that, and this is how you treat him, bro. You couldn't even let him go out on a shield, dog. Like it's
Facts.
2 games, bro. Like it's 2 games, dog.
That's how you know they were trying to disrespect him. That's how you know that they were just like, you know what, nigga, we're gonna let you know how done with you we are. Let's just bench you with 2 games left to go.
But the problem that drives me up the wall is the person who's the most at the most behind the disrespect is somebody who doesn't deserve any kind of power. How is Josh McDaniels allowed to get away with this, bro? He's only been bad anytime he hasn't been around Tom Brady and or Bill Belichick, dog. How does he keep getting away with this, bro? Like, what naked pictures does this motherfucker have?
Bro, this nigga, dog, this nigga just doesn't die, bro.
Bro,
He just doesn't
he has
die,
to, bro. I'm telling you, Rod. He has to have Mark Davis butt naked on his knees with a dominatrix standing with with her heels 9 inches into this nigga's back, bro, with a little ball in his mouth, dog, tied up like a fucking pig, bro. There's no other way that this makes any sense, dog. Like
This
Josh
nigga got a
McDaniels
storage
does
room
not
of blackmail,
bro.
dog.
Josh McDaniels does not deserve this power. We've seen him flame out in the same division. The Raiders, more than anybody, should know that he was not a good coach. You saw him with the Broncos. It's the same dude who took Tim Tebow in the first round.
Unbelievable. He should have never been a head coach just for that move. Again, he should have never. The fact that, you know what it is, Herb? The New England Patriots have this ability to make average coordinators look really good. So that's how you get a guy like Matt Patricia as a head coach in Detroit. That's how you get a guy like Bill O'Brien as not only was he the head coach of the Texans, he was the GM. They get
Think
that
about
much
this,
power.
bro. Bill O'Brien, who is as average as it gets, is far and away the best coordinator from the Patriots staff turned head coach. So that lets you know that whatever Bill Belichick is cooking is not actually real, bro. It's a fugazi, bro. Like Wolf of Wall Street, Matt Damon's Matthew McConaughey's character, bro. It's not real. It's fugazi, bro. Like it's not real.
Yep.
Think about it, bro. Romeo Crennel. Like think about the names: Romeo Crennel, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge.
Special teams coordinator, by the way. Got a head coaching job somehow.
All flameouts. And that's the guy that you are letting run run the show and how could Mark Davis let that man have his ear? He's not done anything to deserve this, bro. He's had nothing but second half flameouts. They made history this year, well into the season, bro. Early into the season. I think about like week 10, where they had 4 double-digit leads at halftime where they ended up losing the game. It's never been done before, bro.
Unbelievable.
And that's the guy that you chose him over Derek Carr, who's been here from the beginning when you were in Oakland, who ingratiated himself in the community, who has been a stand-up individual.
And he's actually been a good player. It's not like
he's been
bad.
a good player, bro. I'm sorry that you have to look at Patrick Mahomes twice a year, bro. I'm sorry. Again, we said that before the break. There's only one of him. There's only one.
Yep.
There's only
one Josh Allen, one Lamar. There's only one of these guys, dog. They're one of one. That's it.
Derek Carr is a good quarterback. So now I'm listen, bro. I love it. I'm going to actively root against the Raiders, bro. I know one of your homeboys who watches the show and follows along is a diehard Raiders fan, bro. And I've shout
out to Dave.
Based off of the communication that we've had back and forth, or like you had back and forth, he hated Derek Carr. So I'm not here to speak for the Raiders fan.
Well, you know what I think it was for him, Herb? It's kind of similar to how it kind of was for a lot of Dolphins fans when it came to Tannehill, to where it's just like Carr has been there for what, 6-7 years, and what have they done? Do they even have a playoff win? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you know, fan bases get tired unless a guy looks incredible. Fan bases get tired of continually either never getting to the playoffs or not doing anything in the playoffs, and that's not all his fault. You know, it's a team sport. You know what I mean? Coaching is involved. You know what I mean? But ultimately, Herbie, he never lived up to the expectation, especially that one season he had. He had kind of similar to a Carson Wentz season where he was an MVP candidate and he just got hurt. So, the Raiders fans were hoping at some point he could get back to that level, but they've been switching coaches and they've
I
been
mean,
switching
bro, look
GMs.
at who y'all
Like,
have on defense, bro. Your
right.
top wide receivers out here committing manslaughter, bro. Like, what y'all want? What do y'all want Derek Carr to do, bro? Like,
Facts, bro. It's unbelievable. They put it like this, Herbie. They pin all their crimes on him.
bro.
Even though the biggest criminal is Josh McDaniels. They pinned all their crimes on Derek Carr. I bet you Josh McDaniels is telling Mark Davis, hey, this guy just can't run my offense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, bro.
Well, let's
All
see.
right, man.
Let's see it next year.
Hey, this ain't a Raiders. This ain't a Raiders podcast, bro. Ultimately, it's a football podcast, bro. I just want to go ahead and get in that, bro. So, let's go ahead and get to the next topic, though, man. Topic number 4, bro. Let's go ahead and get to the 2022 playoff picture before we go ahead and close out the show, man. And woo, Rod, it is a doozy. I ain't gonna hold you, my boy. I ain't gonna hold you. It is a doozy, bro. So you guys are currently, I want to say 6
We're the 7th
right
seed.
now.
We're
You're the 7th seed.
Yeah.
Man,
Barely hanging
and
on.
you're barely hanging on, bro. So this is a big game, obviously. This is a big game regardless, bro. But
Right.
how would you feel if you don't make the playoffs again, Rod?
Well, Herbie, I mean, if the Dolphins don't make the playoffs again, at the end of the day, we have to look at the season as a massive failure. Like, Herbie, my parameters for I picked the Dolphins to go 11-6 to start the season. There is a possibility that we will finish the season either 9-8 or 8-9. Like, at the end of the day, we've been a 10-win team, Herbie. We've been a 9-win team. So for us to get 9 games and get 10 games again, just to not make the playoffs. Now, if we win 10 games, we're in automatically because that means we won the last 2. But I don't know how much faith I have in Teddy Bridgewater to come through. I mean, he plays in a good offense, but we haven't really seen Mike McDaniel adjust to what teams are doing. Now, obviously, I think he will call the game differently for Teddy. I noticed with the backups, he does try to run the ball. Like, whenever we have the backups, they make a conscious effort to run the ball because they don't want to pin all their hopes on the quarterback because they're backups. So, I mean, the Dolphins have chances, Herbie. The nicest thing I could ever say about the Jets and the Patriots is that they both have good defenses. But their offenses, Herbie, like, they don't have the kind of offense that should be able to run it up on you.
Man, Mac Jones is probably the funniest quarterback, bro. That guy's a dirty slime ball dog. And I would have never
guessed it.
I would have never guessed it, bro. All
never
right,
guessed
so let me go ahead and transition over to our screen, bro, so I can just have the entire thing coming up right now, bro. So as it stands right now, man, if you can see, and I have the AFC and the NFC on both sides, bro. We got Bills and the Eagles, bro. They're both the number 1 seeds currently right now, bro. For whatever we've said about the Vikings, bro, the Vikings are 12-3, dog. Like, that's crazy to me, bro. But they just keep winning games, dog. The Chiefs,
and there's something to be said about that.
right? The Chiefs, obviously, but this is a big game because they are playing the Bengals. I mean, they are playing the Bengals are playing the Bills. So this is a huge game, bro. That's ultimately going to decide if the Bills or the Chiefs are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And I think that's going to be huge, bro. You have the Ravens over here, the 5th seed, bro. You have the Chargers, who are the 6th seed. And it's crazy because it felt like the Chargers were dead. On the NFC side, bro, you got the 49ers, bro, 3rd seed, bro. Obviously, they're locked in. They won the division, bro. We're 2nd in our division. We're the 5th seed, dog.
You're locked in there.
Yeah. And in the hunt, bro, the good old Buccaneers, bro. Oh, God, bro. That's some bad football, man.
Jesus.
It's some bad football, man.
Tom Brady, this is what you came back for, bro.
Bro, the NFC is grits, dog. The Giants are still in it, bro. The Giants are the 6th seed right now, dog. Oh, God, bro. And then there's the Dolphins, man, in the hunt, bro. You are right in front of the Jets and the Patriots, dog. So, I know you guys are in control of your own destiny, but what completely seals it for you guys winning, though?
Well, if we can defeat the Patriots next game and the Jets lose to Seattle, we're in.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if the Jets don't get it done and we take care of business, we're in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Now, if the Dolphins lose to the Patriots and the Jets win, we still have an opportunity to make it. I think we have like a 60 or 70% chance, but we need a couple things to go our way. But at the end of the day, Herbie, I mean, you got to beat the Patriots, Herbie. Like, this is a team that, you know what I mean? I mean, you know what, Herbie? Let me take that back, dog. I have a belief, Herbie, and I've been alluding to it back when we were 8-3, but now, my nigga, I can say it with confidence, bro. the gods of 500 football have come for us, dog. They have come for us, and it would not hurt me. It would not shock me one bit, because at this point, I can't even say we're better than the Patriots. We're the same. They're 7-8. We're
Yeah,
8-7.
man.
We're
Yeah,
the same.
You're the same, bro.
So, and I think the spread
Facts.
when I first saw it was like a -1. So even Vegas thinks that. So at the end of the day, and it might have changed since Tua's not playing. That was prior to knowing that he wasn't gonna play. But dude, at the end of the day, dog, like you got Mike. This is on Mike McDaniel, Herbie. Like, for all this talk about him being an offensive guru, the first stint of Tua being out, we didn't win any games. And now that we've lost 4 straight with Tua, now you have to stop the bleeding with a backup. And this is gonna these 2 games, Herbie, are gonna tell us a lot about Mike McDaniel. We lose these next 2 games, Herbie, he's on the hot seat next year. Because
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say you guys get in it, right? Would you guys be incentivized, or, like, I'm not gonna say incentivized, that's the wrong word, especially in our climate. What happens with Tua? Because he obviously gives you the best chance. And not only if you guys get in, you're most likely gonna get in as a 7th seed, which means that you're gonna play the Chiefs. You want to see Teddy Two Gloves against the Chiefs, bro?
Well, here's my thing, Herbie. I'll say this. I don't think, even if they say Tua's good, I don't think they should play him the rest of the year.
Okay.
That's just me. Like, I think his health,
the optics would be terrible. Like,
yeah, and it's not even just the optics. Like, show that you care about a nigga. Like, he's had 3
Facts.
concussions in
facts.
3 months. He's gonna want to play, Herbie. Dolphins fans, we're gonna want him to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, like, the matchup at the end of the day, Tua had a rough stretch the past 4 games, but he's been a top 10 quarterback this year. So you would rather see a nigga who's somewhere in the top 10 instead of a fucking backup, a guy who's always been perennially the 15th to 22nd best quarterback in the league, even when he was a starter. So at the end of the day, Herbie, obviously we would want to see Tua. I just don't think we should. I think he should get the rest of the season off. If we make the playoffs, we ride with Teddy or we ride with Skyler, whoever's healthy, whoever they think gives us the best chance to win. It'll just be another playoff wipeout. The last 2 playoff games we played, Herbie, wipeouts. The Ravens kicked our ass the Wildcat season. The last time we made the playoffs in 2016, Tannehill got hurt 3 games before the playoffs. So we had Matt Moore against the Steelers. So that's happening all over again. And this time, no matter what, Herbie, if we make the playoffs, we're playing a top 3 quarterback. We're either playing Josh Allen, Mahomes, or Joe Burrow. And not having Tua in these games will obviously be a big damper on what we do on offense. But you know what? Crazy things happen in football, Herbie. And I'm not saying anything will happen for us. The crazy things that happen for us are negative. But at the end of the day, Herbie, you never know what happens with football. And these games will tell us a lot more about this coach.
Man, before we get out of here, bro, I just want to go ahead and touch on the rest of everything, right? Like, as it stands right now, bro, and I don't know if this ever happened, but the entire NFC East is possibly going to make the playoffs, dog, which is crazy. Which is crazy, bro.
It's happened before, back when they had 3 divisions and there was a 5-team division.
Got you.
Before, but it's not something. I mean, for a whole division to make it, that's almost unprecedented, bro.
Bro, look at this slot, bro.
Bro, the hilarious thing about it, Herbie, is that the AFC playoffs are gonna be like nobody's safe, Herbie. Not even the higher seeds. Like, every matchup could be against a potentially dangerous nigga. Lamar might be back for the Ravens. Justin Herbert finally made the playoffs. And if the Dolphins decide to say fuck the optics, throw Tua in, our offense can always reach its best potential with him in the game.
Obviously.
So at the end of the day, Herbie, in the AFC, we're gonna get nothing but awesome quarterback matchups, and that includes a guy that we've both been very critical of up in Jacksonville. I don't think the Titans are winning it.
Bro, do you know what's the biggest game of the year right now, dog? Not the biggest game of the year, but the biggest game of the weekend, bro. The Carolina Panthers versus the Bucks, bro. Because that's essentially for the division. God damn, that's such a terrible.
And the way the Bucks been looking, dog. I mean, you don't feel bad about Carolina winning that game. Like, you don't feel bad about Carolina. Like, this is a game we should say, yo, Tom Brady and the Bucks are gonna kill these niggas. I can't say that with confidence.
I can't say that at all, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, bro. Any last words though, my guy, before we go ahead and close our shop, man?
Herbie, you know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure to do these episodes with you, man. Another good episode, another fun episode.
Absolutely.
Always grateful to do this, man.
The hour always fly by, man.
It flies by, dude. And for all the people who have watched this, who will watch this, we thank you for giving us the time. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, giving us the support. And we're gonna keep doing this thing, man. We love
Every
this
week,
shit.
man. The last
Love
episode
it.
of the year, man. Congratulations, bro. We did it, my boy. We did it, man.
Did
Give
it, boy. We
Give
all
yourself a
what?
clap, man.
We
Give
in it.
yourself a clap, man. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. You already know how to go with it. All right, man. So I will see y'all next week, man. Or
Next week, New Year.
one of those douchebags, bro. I'll see you next year.
Next year.
All right, man. Deuces.
Deuces.